If I can't determine within looking at the top of your page, within the first couple lines as to whether or not I even want to consider calling you back, your resume is probably going in the trash and I'm not going to give you a holler. I'm having a very hard time getting a help desk role. I have roughly a year of experience between a technical support role and an IT internship, the A plus, Net plus, and Security plus. And I just got passed over for a job for being overqualified, which I don't understand. I feel like I have enough knowledge or confidence in my skills to move beyond the help desk, but I'm not getting anywhere in my job search. Not sure what to do. Thanks for your videos. Always appreciate your advice. So your man's here, or your woman's, I don't know if there's a guy or girl. They're saying they're having a hard time finding a job, an entry-level job. What you think about this question right here, man?
I mean, I think you're right in the ballpark really for help desk. So, I mean, you always get a few weird people because usually the help desk really, like you said, they usually just trying to get bodies for a minute. So I very rarely see them say somebody's overqualified. Now, they might say you might be asking for too much money. I very rarely see anybody say the help desk was overqualified. Did he email them, ask them why they thought they were overqualified, or just kind of get a little clarification?
This is all they left me was just this comment. So my thinking on this is that, one, the overqualification thing, sometimes when you guys are applying for a job, you can't throw out a one size fits all type of job. Meaning, let's just say you are going for an entry level role and you got like a graduate's degree, a master's degree. You might want to leave that off. You know what I'm saying? You might want to leave any advanced degrees off, and because you're trying to get an entry-level position, because they might look at you as you're just using them as a bounce back or a rebound until something better comes along, which they probably do know, but they don't want you just blatantly stating it on your resume. That's what you're doing. Also, let's talk about your resume. Now, some of you all need to hire the services of professional resume writers. Some of you guys, and look, this might not be any fault of your own, but I remember I used to help people write resumes, and this is one of the reasons why I stopped doing it. I had a guy about a year ago who's been working in tech for you're probably watching this channel right now. He's been working in tech for a hot little minute, probably like 10 plus years. And he sent me a copy of his resume. He was like, hey man, trying to get a new job doing yada, yada, yada. Can you rework my resume? I was like, all right, send it over. He sends me his resume over. Bruh, his resume looks like a 2-page book report. Just paragraphs on paragraphs. There's no bullet points. Nothing's like, it's just like, it's like he tried to squeeze his entire work life into 2 pages without trying to summarize stuff and put it in pretty little bullet points. And so you guys got to think about it from my perspective. If I'm the employer or the person that's interviewing you, dude, I ain't trying to read all that. I might have a stack of like 50 other resumes that I have to go through. If I can't determine within looking at the top of your page, within the first couple lines as to whether or not I even want to consider calling you back, your resume is probably going in the trash and I'm not going to give you a holler, because I'm a human being too. I don't want to read all this stuff and try to decipher like, nah, you need to take this stuff out, put it in pretty little bullet points, make it look readable. So, I mean, I'm not saying that this is the issue with this person, but that could possibly be an issue, because I've seen a lot of people, from entry-level people to seasoned pros, that just suck at formatting and putting a resume together. So it's probably in your best interest to hire somebody who can take all of that stuff and dress it up, make it look pretty on paper, so that hopefully it doesn't get tossed in the trash can, which can obviously prevent you from getting a job interview and a job.
Yeah, I had not that problem, but what I did is I thought I was getting a little ageism. So I just took 10 years off my resume and took my high school graduation date and my college graduation date. And my callback went up to like 300%. So like Check G said is, and since you're not doing them, Textual Chatter did a video, him and 2 other ladies are talking about doing your resume. I think I'm going to hire them, man, because I look, like you said, I looked at my resume. I'm not bad as him, but I think my resume feeling more early 2000-ish, right? There's a lot of newer techniques. So I think I'm going to hire them to kind of tighten my resume up. So
yeah, it doesn't hurt. I mean, somebody, I mean, you're probably going to end up paying around $50 to as high as $200+ for somebody to do it. But it might be worth it, because they might just have that unique skill set to dress it up. We don't have to be a subject matter expert at everything. Now, obviously, if you're struggling financially and you can't afford it, then that's one thing. There are always things you can find online, little templates that kind of help guide you. But it's probably in your best interest to hire somebody professional that can write these things up. And then also, like you said, you had to delete some things from your resume, right? You shouldn't have a resume that's longer than 2 pages. Like anything beyond that, like ain't nobody trying to read all that crap, man. And like I say, the first first couple lines on that resume should highlight, your little motivational speech or whatever, and then list all, your little bullet points. I got all these certifications, these degrees, yada, yada, yada. Then we get into our job history. Just list the most relevant stuff, man. And then even with your job history, you don't have to list everything. Like, I would fetch coffee for the bosses, and now list only the things that are tech related that you think might be related to the tech job that you're trying to get. Like, nobody has to know about all the goofy meetings, or you were the potluck planner. Like, nobody needs to know all that crap, man. But people would throw all that stuff in the resume. So I mean, that could possibly be an issue. Could possibly be your resume is just nobody wants to read it because it's just way too much going on, or might not be enough on there. I don't know. Or you're putting too much on there, like stressing all this education that you have when you don't necessarily need to. Like I said earlier, you don't have to mention that you have a master's degree if you're trying to go for an IT job. It's like, I would just leave it off. I mean, those could be some other things. What else they say? They said they're having a hard time getting a job. This could be in relation to, where do you live? What's the job market in your area? Do you live in a rural area, like, or a small town or something like that, where, you know what I'm saying, it's not too many economic opportunities to where a lot of people have to move to a bigger city? Are you willing to move to a bigger city if it's possible for you to do? That could be another factor. I mean, right now it's kind of hard to obviously pinpoint what the issue may be based off of a YouTube comment. But, if I had to guess, it would have to be some of the things that we talked about. Resume looks like crap, or you got too much crap on it, or do you live in an area that has a lot of economic opportunities going on? Or are you out in the sticks somewhere where there's not really much going on? Like what are we doing here?
Then too, like our last video, if you're trying to get a remote jobs, those are hard to get. And when you apply for them, it's hundreds and 200, 300 people trying to get those jobs. So like Tech G is like, I'm a state guy. So if you live close to a state capital, working for the government, it's easier to get in. Your pay's a little less, but I think there's easier to get in. Then on the resume, I have a little more experience. So I got 3 different resumes. Am I going for a cloud person? Am I going for a compliance job? Am I going for a disaster recovery job? Those are kind of the 3 jobs I do. So I have 3 different resumes depending on the type of job I'm applying for too. So